Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of JavaLavaCraft, episode 29, and we have quite a few projects in the works at the moment, but you know what? We're not going to be working on any of them. In fact, we are going to be starting and hopefully finishing a project start to finish today. We are going to be building a gold farm. So we traveled to the roof of the nether a few episodes ago, which is why we have this strangely placed nether portal above our mega farm over here, and we are finally going to utilize it. So I definitely cannot take credit for the farm design that we are going to be using today. I messed around with a bunch of different things in creative test world with turtle eggs and piglins and all sorts of crazy stuff, but you know what, it really wasn't very efficient. So we are going to go all out, and we are going to hopefully build up one of the best designs out there. So we're going to go ahead and head into the nether and get started. So welcome to the nether roof. A beautiful landscape. It is just gorgeous out here. You know, I really love it out here. It's a lot of fun. Yep, not really. It's kind of ugly and plain and boring. But our goal isn't really anything beautiful today, at least not for now. Our goal is way up there, and we need to go ahead and get started because this is a very big project, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. But we are going to get so much gold and so many other awesome resources from it. So buckle in, and I hope you're prepared. It is time to jump into farm building time-lapse mode. Hey guys! So, as you can see, the gold farm is done and it is working. Our XP is just piling up. We were around 400 levels, almost 500 levels, before we died from some other stuff. Yeah, anyways, as you can see, it is working very well. This is definitely not my design. This is a design by RaiseWorks, who I will link in the video in the description down below, as well as the block by block tutorial that I followed. So super awesome channel, check them out. And you should definitely build this farm because it is like the fastest XP farm in the game right now, I think. There might be some Enderman designs that are a little faster, I don't know. But this is more than you need, really. And it's also a bartering farm, so I'm going to show that to you guys in just a second. This farm is actually really easy to build. It just takes a bit of time to get the magma blocks and then place them all down. So that's a bulk of the work here, and the rest of the redstone and stuff is really simple. So yeah, check it out and go ahead and build it up in your world if you want a lot of gold and unlimited XP. It's really nice. So we are going to head down to the lower level of the farm, and the piglins are going to kind of try and follow me and land on top of this area, which is a little bit of a problem, but it hasn't proved to be too bad. They kind of have an opportunity to kind of whack me when I come down here sometimes if they've built up, but they can't get in here, which is nice. So this is where we sort all of the items. There is a piglin up here that collects any gold ingots that the zombified piglins drop, so he is bartering constantly. He's right there, you can see him. Yeah, so basically these piglins die from entity cramming in these these regular minecarts right over here. There's 25 minecarts right there, so every time a zombified piglin drops in there, he basically dies instantly and drops all of his gold stuff. As you can see, we are filtering out the gold swords and all of the rotten flesh, so we don't even have to worry about that. It periodically gets sent to this flame right here every single time this piglin picks up a barters us a non-stackable item, and it pushes it into the flames. So it's kind of like a dual purpose farm, and it also uses the bartering as a clock. So it's really cool, really smart, and it's really simple. The resources are really not too bad. The only thing that it might be hard to get is this wither rose, and this is optional, so you don't even have to get the wither rose to make this farm. Yeah, and then we didn't really, I think he has a tutorial on like a sorting system as well, but we just kind of filtered out like all the different items that the piglins are currently trading in 1.16.1, which we haven't switched over to 1.16.3, I believe they're on now, because their trades do switch up a bit. So we're just going to collect some of the resources that they currently offer, and when we switch over, we will be able to change out the filters and things like that, because I believe we'll be able to get blackstone in the next update, which is already out. We're a little bit behind, so that's going to be extremely useful. Yeah, we need a lot of blackstone, so we can't go out and mine it constantly. It just takes too long, and that's actually how we died, was going to get blackstone. So, and I think the other ingredient we might want to try and automate today is the basalt. So we'll get to that in just a bit. Yeah, let me just show you guys some of the awesome goodies that we've collected. So far we've collected like, yeah, a lot of gold. So about 17 stacks of gold blocks, which is like a ridiculous amount of gold nuggets that we've collected. I think we filled up like these first 9 chests 2 or 3 times. We AFK'd for quite a while, and while we were AFKing and collecting our gold, the piglin was working hard trading us for all those gold ingots that they were dropping, and we got some nether quartz, some glowstone. You also get nether bricks, you get magma cream, you get leather, string, so we don't even really need a string farm. I don't know if that is one of the trades that gets taken out in the next update, but it doesn't really matter because string farms aren't that hard to make anyway. We have some fire charges, iron nuggets, which we really don't need, crying obsidian. This is a big one. This is one I was really excited to kind of automate because I'd like to use it, but as you can see, it's not dropping quite as much. Obsidian even less so. We have tons and tons of soul sand from this farm and tons of gravel, which is actually going to be one of the more useful things if we ever need concrete, because now we only have to collect dye and sand. Not too bad, right? And then on this side we have all of the non-stackable items, so I can't really sort these. I mean, you can sort these, but I didn't, and we really would like to filter out the golden swords, but unfortunately we haven't come up with anything for that, so we just kind of throw them down this hole and they despawn on the bedrock down below. So some really cool stuff you can get from this farm. Soul speed iron boots, which we don't need because they're iron, which is fine because we also get enchanted books, and all of the enchanted books have soul speed, and we got a bunch of soul speed 3 books as well. So super cool. We get potions of fire resistance, splash potions of fire resistance, and ender pearls. So super useful farm. And not to mention, we can actually increase the amount of trades as well by creating a bartering farm, so we can use all of this gold. Yep. Well, obviously, other than like powered rails and things like that, there's not too many things we need gold for, so we're definitely going to be building up a piglin bartering farm at some point. Sure, I think we'll have to put it in like over here maybe, so that yeah, it's not somewhere that the piglins will spawn, and we can also kind of have it working for us while we are AFKing here. So we gotta be careful because you can see these guys are already just standing on all the redstone over here. Wow. Bye guys. Yeah. They're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep spawning because of this guy over here, the satellite pigman. So he keeps everyone nice and angry. He is name tagged, and we had to just push him out. Super easy to do. And he tells all the other piglins that they want to try and kill me. So eventually they will lose aggro if we keep leaving the area or die, which is the less preferred option, but there's no way to like turn this farm off technically. Yeah, anyways, we could put them up like 2 or 3 blocks for the bartering farm so that it can also filter in over here and we don't have to have a second storage system. However, I haven't decided how we're going to handle that yet. Originally, I did want to have a piglin bartering farm in the nether hub, so after we finish up some of the villager stuff and some other projects in the nether hub, maybe we'll get to that. This is a super cool farm, super happy with it. It's been a lot of fun, and it's not that pretty yet, so maybe we'll work on that in the future, but this is really just another AFK area so we can collect some of these resources. We're not going to spend a lot of time here on camera just because we've already done it. Today is the day. You get to see it. If we need to repair our tools and stuff like that, we can always hop back over here because, you know, we need some repair on our tools constantly. We're always breaking them. Oops. Yeah, so that's the gold farm by Raiseworks. Super cool, super fast farm, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now we don't have to really worry about XP too much, or gold, or string, or crying obsidian, or a bunch of other stuff. We're just probably going to AFK here for a bit more, and I'll be right back with you guys, and we will get on to the next farm. So after, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the very most, we have 208 levels. That's crazy. I am so happy. This is going to be so easy getting XP from now on. Yep, and it's going to be so easy getting gold. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3. We'll just say 3 because we have some blocks up there. 3 double chests full of gold ingots. And let's go ahead and see how many gold blocks that is. And it comes out to about 2.5 stacks. That, well, we'll say 2 stacks plus 12. Look at that. Awesome. That's crazy. We have a reliable source of gold, and it is going to serve us well for the future. And now we don't have to worry about that. It's really been one of the only things when it comes to our redstone projects that we have struggled to collect so far for things like gold rails and collection. So now we don't have to worry about that. Awesome. Well, I guess it is time to move on to the next project, and we are going to have to unaggro all these pigmen. So I'm going to go ahead and fly away, and hopefully they'll forget I was ever here. Probably not, but we will see, I guess. And then we will get started on our basalt generator. Alright, so now that the zombie piggy guys aren't mad at us anymore, we can go ahead and get started on the basalt generator. Yep, that's right. It's time to start producing lots of resources for our mega build and our mega base and all of everything, because we use a lot of basalt. So we're going to need as much as we can get. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up. I think we're going to go out this way with it and have it loaded while we AFK. So sounds like a good idea to me. Let's go ahead and get started. So after building up the gold farm, we learned that maybe we need a little extra protection, especially from falling, and it's going to help a lot to have a few beacons. When you're working on tight redstone, you want maybe jump boost, just to kind of help you get from one level to the next. It's actually really helpful in those tight situations. So you'll see in just a minute what I mean, especially since we're basically building over a massive void. I mean, a void with the bottom, so at least we can get our stuff if we die, which we may have died. Yep, so this first module that you see, I got from a YouTuber called Splashes and Puddles. I'll put a link in the description down below. Super awesome build, and pretty much everything else, though, we did have to come up with on our own. The build he did was in the overworld, and it used water for a collection system. However, he did kind of make the 4 module idea. So basically what we did was we put some hopper minecarts underneath an obsidian platform. We've gotten pretty lucky with the design here. Fortunately, none of those minecarts end up breaking. A few did at first, but we figured out exactly the area that we could do, and then we just put some slabs over the other hoppers that weren't covered by the obsidian. So, and then a ring of hoppers at the bottom a few levels down to collect any other basalt that gets destroyed and drops down. So we ended up putting the TNT duplicator that we made in the last episode in the middle of the farm, because it's going to be using quite a bit of TNT, and it's just a little bit easier, a little bit more resource friendly for this kind of thing, and it's pretty much automatic now, so it's really cool. The TNT duper did break after a few hours of AFKing, but it's not a big deal. As you could see in the last episode, they're super easy to make. Quick pro tip: if you are trying to do redstone and you're working with bottom half slabs, carpets are your friend. Use them as scaffolding because they break really easily. Now you can see the basalt is just flying in. Now all we got to do is build this module up 3 more times and just do a little bit more of redstone for a collection system down below, and we're pretty good to go. These modules are super cool. So basalt generators work when lava touches blue ice that's also touching soul sand, and once that happens, we just use these pistons on the left and right side of these modules to push it inwards, and then the middle piston row to push it outwards, and then it just gets pushed all the way to the push limit for the hoppers, which it gets pushed out about 12 blocks from the module, and we used that length to kind of just create a square of basalt in the end, which you will see when this is all finished up. We added a little bit of crying obsidian because I thought it would help with the light, but it seems like we are getting some zombie piglins spawning as well, so we might need to put some slabs or something on top of that. I'm not really sure. I don't think the TNT will get all the way over to the redstone. However, if it does, at least we have some obsidian there, so it won't break. I guess we can put some slabs there and find out. But as you can see, it's a pretty efficient farm. It really doesn't break. Other than the TNT duplicator kind of had some issues when you fly away while it's on. But yeah, pretty much it. And now I can show you guys what we got from an overnight AFK session. Over 85,000 basalt. And you know what? That doesn't even seem like that much because it's not. It's really not. There's basalt farms out there that are making double that per hour and things like that. It's pretty insane. However, that number isn't completely accurate because there is a ton of basalt stuck in the hoppers up there. So we ended up adding some hopper minecarts stacked on top of each other just so that the basalt didn't get wasted. So I guess we could wait around for all of it to filter through and get a more accurate number. It might even be double, I don't know, and I don't want to wait around. And 85,000 basalt is good enough for now. Not to mention, every time we AFK in this gold farm area, then we're going to also turn this farm on and be producing a ridiculous amount of basalt. And if we get 85,000 basalt overnight, all we got to do is just do another overnight AFK session and boom, another 85,000 basalt. I don't think we can place 85,000 blocks a day, so we will be okay. So I think this area could use a little bit more decoration and maybe like a little bit more cleaning up and stuff like that. Like these shulker boxes aren't going to be staying here, and we do need a way to actually get down to like where we're collecting the basalt. As you can see, it's just a platform floating in the middle of nowhere. But all the bones are here, all the veins of the farm, and everything is working. We are producing a crazy amount of items, XP, gold, all those awesome bartering goodies, and a ton of basalt. The only other thing that might go in this area is the piglin bartering farm, but you know what? I think we might leave it out of this area just because we've already created too many spots for other things than piglins to spawn. Zombie piglins, which is what we want to spawn in this area, but we only want them to spawn up on those magma cubes up there, magma blocks up there. So yeah, we might not want to put that over here. We might just want to close it up, do a little bit more slabbage on top of the full blocks and stuff like that. Maybe some carpets over the redstone, because it seems like these guys are actually spawning on the redstone, which is weird. Yeah, not really sure why that's happening. Anyways, I put this on-off switch for the entire farm. It turns everything on and off all together. I don't know what happens if you spam it, but I don't think it's a good idea. I didn't put any spam protection on, but I'm the only one that will be activating this farm, so I don't think it will be a big problem. So when we go ahead and flick on this this lever, we should hear a little bit of a bassy noise, hearing that the farm is on. That's the didgeridoo sound from the pumpkin. And then every single time the basalt is generated, we should hear a little bit of a xylophone noise because of the bone block under there. Every single time the TNT is duplicated, we should hear, get out of here, get out of here. We should hear a little bit of a 8-bit noise. It's like a little ding, like a little computer noise. It's pretty cool. And these are turned on and off by pulling up 2 of the blocks in the hopper clock. So there's some slabs over it, so you can't really see it that well. But basically we have a hopper clock underneath here registering when the items move from one hopper to the next, moving this redstone block, and every single time that's done, then this note block is activated. The observer views the change in status in this note block and sends a 1-tick pulse out to our farm. So this one is sent out to the basalt generators, so it is firing all 4 at the same time. And up here, let's see if we can do that. Whoa! Yeah, it's been pretty tricky moving around this farm. Anyways, the jump boost has helped immensely. Alright, so this hopper clock, same idea here. We ran out of stone bricks, so we used basalt. But when we turn that farm on, these 2 blocks here are going to get pushed down, activating the hopper clock for this TNT duplicator over here. And the reason we couldn't hook both of them up to the same hopper clock is the TNT needs to be fired about half as much as the basalt is generated. If we were doing this in the overworld, we might be able to get away with putting them on the same hopper clock, but in the nether, lava flows a lot quicker and the basalt is generated a lot faster, which is cool because it means there's basically the maximum amount of basalt every single time the TNT is duplicated. So let's go ahead and view that right now. So let's turn it on and listen for that bass noise. So we heard the bass noise, and we hear the xylophone starting to go off over and over again. And when we come up here, we should be able to hear that 8-bit noise from the TNT duplicating. You can kind of hear it. It's going off half as much as the xylophone. Oops. So as you can see, this box of basalt gets remade every single time the TNT explodes. It pretty much gets completely remade by the time the TNT explodes. I think only once or twice I've seen it missing a block or two, but that's no biggie. We also realized that the TNT actually drops on top of the basalt quite often, actually, which is why this obsidian platform is bigger than just the 3x3 square that you would think you would need. Yeah. Anyways, that's why we have it set up this way, kind of weird with the slabs and everything. And that's why this is so high up, is so that it doesn't blow up our TNT duplicator every single time. You could go even higher and fire off more TNT so that it explodes before it even hits the obsidian, which would be like the maximum efficiency. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description down below for both of these farms. But that is all we're going to have time for today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm super excited to put all of this basalt to good use, and make sure you hit that like button if you like this video. Make sure you build up some of these farms if you want some basalt and crazy amounts of XP and all the bartering goodies. But as always, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and if you are excited for even more content from the JavaLavaCraft world, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But that's going to be all for me today, guys. Bye!